IVM.
Hello, and welcome to the Positively Unlimited podcast. This is, episode 127, I think, but it is C for consideration box. Now, those of you who have been tuning in to my podcast know that this particular series of A to Z is all about relationships. And for those of you who don't, from episode 125 onwards, the next 26 episodes are going to be all about life lessons and life hacks for relationships. So today I'm talking to all the single people out there, and I'm talking about something called the consideration box. So what is this magical box? Well, it's this little space that we have in our minds where we happily go and place someone who tends to tick 2 or 3 things off our laundry list. Okay, what do I mean by laundry list? So for anyone out there who doesn't know this, we all have this list of things that we want in a partner. And for a lot of our parents, if they were to make the laundry list, they would say well settled or homely, or it's like the terms that you put down in the matrimonial ad. We also have our own version of it. Okay, so ask a girl, what is she looking for? And she'll, give you some physical features like tall or well built or lean, and then financially well settled, and must be funny, must be romantic. Similarly, guys will have this list which says must be smart, must have a career, but also be able to manage the home. Yes, I know I'm hitting the cliches. I know I'm spelling that out. And this is just an example. Okay, so not all of you have these cliched laundry lists, but we all have laundry lists. So when you go out on a date and you meet this person for the first time and you feel a connection. Now, connection can be chemistry, attraction, both of you getting each other's jokes, all of those pieces. You will take this person and very happily plant him or her in that space in your mind that I call the consideration box. Now, from here on, the mind will start building narratives about how the two of y'all will be awesome together, how this person is so perfect, how this person fits the bill. And all of this just after date 1. A little too soon, don't you think, when I say it like that? Well, but this is what we do, okay? Now, as the days go further, because you felt a connection and both people obviously felt it, you have been messaging each other and, it's kind of growing from there. And you start building up this person's image, and that consideration box space becomes to fill up with their presence completely. However, taking someone and placing them in the consideration box should not be only about chemistry or attraction. It shouldn't also be only about the laundry list. Just because they're tall and handsome, just because they're hot and sexy, just because they're intelligent with a sense of humor, just because they know how to balance their career and home, you can't get up and push someone into the consideration box. The only reason why someone should get a spot in your consideration box, and listen to this part carefully, the only reason why someone should get a spot in your consideration box is their actions. And not just on the first date, but from the first date, every single day that you stay connected to them. You stay connected with them in the stage of exploration to figure whether you guys are good together, whether there's something here, whether you want to be together. In that entire phase, the person gets to enter firstly, and then stay in that consideration box only based on their actions, not their words and not what they show you on date number 1. Yes, many of you all are listening to me and going, really? Do I have to be that strict? Yes, you have to be that strict, because when you put this person into the consideration box, you slowly start turning a blind eye to all the red flags. So the person will do something that you don't like, that you don't want to experience in another relationship, that is, well, just not okay with you. But you will justify it, rationalize it, make an excuse for the person, and, tell yourself, it's too soon. Let me give this person some more time. Also, a lot of times when the person is pulling away and not really giving you the kind of attention that you would like or that should be there if there is genuine feelings or liking for each other, then this person will, start to do things. They will not message, or they will be flaky, or they will say yes to something and then not show up. Lots of these tiny, tiny things happen in the first 2, 3 months of getting to know each other. And if you are going to place somebody in your consideration box, then that person should have potential, real potential, not the illusion that you are creating. So remember this, if somebody's actions are not aligned to their words, if somebody says something but does something else, someone is not treating you the way you want to be treated in those first few months, then don't place them in the consideration box. Now, I'm not saying that you eliminate them, you block them, you delete them. No, this is a space of exploration. But they have to earn their space in that box by way of merit, by way of action. So if they're not doing the right things, then let them be there on the sidelines till they do something. They'll either fade into the background and you'll cut off, someone else will come who catches your interest. At least you'll be in an open space to keep dating. But when you fall for that initial attraction and let this person take up this very important space in your mind, then you also start blocking out other potential people, other potential matches, other potential partners. In today's world of dating apps and the pace at which we meet people and we are, well, struggling to make relationships happen, and I say struggling because think about it. When you look around you, almost every single person's story is the same. Where is that good girl or where is that good guy? Where are these great people that I can be in a relationship with? Why can't I find anybody? Well, a lot of us are not able to find the right person or the appropriate partner because the consideration box is filled by people who don't deserve it. So there's no room for any other energy to come into your space. A guy or a girl liking your Instagram stories or Instagram posts, no matter how you are attracted to this person, no matter how much you think this person is perfect for you, does not merit any space in the consideration box. A guy or girl who makes plans with you and keeps canceling, rescheduling, or calling it off, or tells you, let's make a plan, but never takes any initiative, does not merit space in that consideration box. Someone who is not staying in touch regularly, not communicating often enough and openly enough, does not merit space in that consideration box. You have to be very, very stingy and very, very discerning with who you put into that box if you are looking to build a real relationship. This is a very, very tiny thing, a consideration box, the space in your head where, you start having these stories of this relationship, these images, this movie that you are, filming in your head. But it plays a very, very big part on how much time you will end up spending on somebody who doesn't deserve your time and your attention. That is why this consideration box is so important. So, how do you decide who gets space in it? Well, be clear about what kind of an experience you want to have in your love life. And I'm not talking about laundry list. I'm talking about make a list of the kind of experiences you want to have. Make a list of how you want to be treated by your partner. Now, once you do this, when you go out on a date, you want to observe how much of this person's personality, words, and action are aligned to what you have put down on paper in those lists. Also, you don't assess this based on one date. Please give each other at least 2 to 3 months in an open space to just meet each other, hang with each other, see what it feels like to be with each other. In my books, even 3 months is less, but I'm nobody's mommy to tell you how long you should be taking. Okay, so for me, 3 months is less. For some of you, 3 months may be too much, but you need to figure out when you are ready to say, okay, let's take this up a notch. And the only reason I'm putting down a timeline saying 3 months is because sometimes we rush into things. Sometimes because in the beginning, the attention and the attraction is so strong, we get hungry, we want more of it. It's like we start binging. And especially if you have been single and dating and had some lousy experiences or disappointing experiences, then when you find this connect, well, it's like a little child in a dessert buffet, right? So it's very important to take time to get to know each other and just hang with each other. And one last point. It is okay for you to move the same person in and out of this consideration box during this phase of exploring and spending time with each other. It is absolutely okay. You can assess and move them in and out of this box based on their actions on a day-to-day basis. Take it one day at a time, literally, and the consideration box will help you do that. But remember this, their actions, how aligned are these actions to your desires and how consistent they are with these actions, those are your two parameters based on which you place somebody in the consideration box, you give them that mind space. Oh, and I also must say this. Don't place somebody on a pedestal for simple, normal things that they do. Okay? Someone who likes you, boy or girl, messaging you, sharing their day with you, telling you things that make you feel good, complimenting you, these are normal things. These are not reasons to place somebody on a pedestal. Also, the consistency of these normal things is how they will get a spot in that box in your mind. Don't fall for it just because it happens once and then that is the end of it. I know that I'm sounding like a grandmother or I'm sounding a little too strict, but I've seen one too many clients make this mistake and spend a lot of time and effort on people who did not deserve their love and attention. So save yourself some disappointment and be a little strict about your consideration box. Learn to say no to what is not working for you so that you can say yes to that which makes sense to you and is aligned for you. So on that note, I'm going to head out of here, but make sure that you listen to episode number 125 and 126, which is acceptance and boundaries. All episodes are available on the IVM website and IVM app. Also, you can connect with us on Instagram and Twitter. Our handle is IVM Podcasts. And to connect with me, to tell me how you enjoyed this episode or the previous ones, or to ask me any questions about anything that you're going through, DM me on Instagram. My handle is Positivity Angel. I look forward to hearing from you. And I will catch you again in literally 2 days with another episode, which is D for drama.
I hope you enjoyed that show. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Intel, for supporting us. So Justine Royal came on Storytellers and Storytellers this week with Vineet. It was a really interesting conversation. Do definitely check that out. Hamsuni Hariharan is back on the Pragati podcast after an extended absence. Amsini was one of the original hosts along with Pravan, but she was unable to continue. But we're glad to have her back. She's talking about her experiences since she left. She's been studying in China. Definitely check that out. You'll enjoy that. Abhijit Ganguly was on Cyrus Says a couple of weeks ago, and he had such a great time, and we were so happy to have him on that we asked him to join us for Cocked and Bull, and he was on this week. Do check that out. And lastly, I'd like to mention our Tamil show. We've been doing a show called Kadai Podcast Ponniyin Selvan, hosted by Kavita Jiva. She has been phenomenal. She's rewritten the stories in a way which really, they speak to a modern audience. But Ponniyin Selvan is over, and she has started a new story, though. The new story that she started is Sivakamiyan Sabatham. I'm sure I mangled that pronunciation, and I'm sure you'll love it if you're a Tamil speaker. Do definitely check it out. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Hi guys, this is Ayushi.
And I am Ritasha.
And welcome to Agla Station Adulthood.
It's a fun podcast we've got going on, and we'd love for you to tune in and enjoy with us.
Join us as we stop at various stations and discuss different topics that seem to be bothering us, and hopefully
Dating,
you as well.
relationships, beauty, just being an adult, lots of different things.
We don't have a great grip on it, but we've done okay so far.
Catch Agla Station Adulthood every Thursday on the IVM app, the IVM website, or wherever else you get your podcasts.